Oh man. Hey y'all. Now I've been hiding for a while. I was making videos before, but I had stopped for a while. Hold up. My lips is chapped. Like I don't like my lips being dry up like this. Let's just say I was battling a lot of demons. Um, long ago, I kind of went down the wrong path, and God was always here. God, like, the Most High was always around me. Literally, always was protecting me, always watching over me. Thank the Most High for real. Because yeah, long ago I actually went down the wrong path, and there was nobody that could tell me anything. Because of course, because I was saying I was really gullible and naive. I'd be looking for friends, and I'd be looking for loved ones in all the wrong places. Trying to please people and trying to fit in, trying to be accepted. And then I just started, like, little by little not really caring about people and not caring about upholding the law of the Most High, falling deep into sin, from stealing to lying to, all kind of corruption, I was just corrupt. And not to say I wasn't, not to say I was corrupt to a point where, I was still a good person. Like, to some degree, I was still like a very good and cool person to hang around. I still always looked at the good parts, the positive side to everybody, even people that weren't really the best people to be hanging around, for my kind of soul, of course, because the soul that I have is a loving soul, and I wasn't embracing that, and I wasn't moving smart and wisely. So I made a lot of mistakes that led me down this path where, I just thought it was all right to do these things, to the point where I thought this is what you did in order to get where you really wanted to get. You take advantage of people, you lie to people, you steal, you cheat, you do what you have to do in order to get what you want. And the people that I was getting around were the same kind of people, that had the same kind of mindset. And I got taken advantage of a lot, because at the end of the day, my soul is really a loving soul that really looks for the good in everybody and just tries to do what's right, tries to do what's best, tries to do what's fair. And in this corrupted world, and this path that the devil led me down, there is no fear. Matter of fact, a lot of things ain't really fair in life. But you always have a choice, right? And yeah, I just found myself going down a road where I was doing all the wrong things, thinking to get the results that I wanted. And being the soul that I was, ultimately, the devil didn't want to give me shit. Like, the devil wanted to give me stuff that were like warped, and like a warped way of what I was looking for, and it always turned against me. It always left me with a piece of my soul being taken away. Little by little, a piece of my soul would be ripped from me. I'd be broken down spiritually, mentally, and even over time physically, you know, even though like I'm a very strong soul, you know, so it would take a lot to really bring me down to that point. But yeah, I kept on going into this loop, like where I kept on doing I kept on following down the same habits. And it started from young, started from a little kid. Um, but it got worse as time went on. When I got into my teenage years, you know, I started hanging out with certain friends and even leading certain people into the same kind of lifestyle, which I feel really messed up about that I led certain people down a lifestyle when I could have been a beacon, you know, to help them go in the right direction that would have ultimately um, brought better things to their life. But instead, I wanted to be like, you know, the cool guy, um, and you know, get into the same kind of trouble and the same kind of stuff that was leading me down a path that was ultimately not going to give me the results that I truly wanted. Which, of course, you know, of course, is like, you know, the life where, you know, you have the freedom, you know, to express yourself, to be able to purchase what you want, to be able to move wherever you want, to be able to you know, have a loving, caring family, to have friends around you that only uplift you the same way that you would uplift them, you know, where you're not really fake with each other and you're real, you're honest, you know. Um, yeah, it was to the total opposite, you know, trying to get to the same place, of course, you know, and thinking that I ultimately had control of that, you know, when really and truly I didn't have control of that at all. Actually, actually, God ultimately had control of everything, and the devil had me in the palm of his hand, you know, on a string, you know, like a little puppet, like, you know, I was like a little puppet, you know, dancing on a string for the devil, you know, and God was still there, you know, because He knows what I'm really here to do. At the end of the day, like, I was really here to help people out of that bondage, to break those chains. And instead, I was leading them into the same corrupted spot that I was going down. And yeah, like that's why I even feel like God always had my back. He always saved me out of situations that, you know, should have left me dead, should have left me dead, should have left me either dead or in jail, you know, left me in a place where my heart and my soul were just broken and I couldn't come back from it. But ultimately, whatever situation I got into that was ultimately gonna kill me or leave me broken and beat up, God would bring me back to life, literally. God would save me from situations where I could have did serious time. I've seen a lot of friends, a lot of people that I know do serious time. A lot of people that I seen get killed over the same kind of instances that I was getting into, same kind of stuff that I was involving myself in. You know, God would ultimately save me. Now, I mean, like, you know, people can say what they want and say what they would do to me and say, you know, but at the end of the day, they don't have no control over that. They never had no control over that. Like, people will make threats to you to kind of have you believe that they can do something to you, when ultimately God has the decision over all of that. Like, if God doesn't want you to be touched, you ain't gonna be touched. If God is literally protecting you, even though you're doing some you know, some stuff that you shouldn't be doing, because ultimately you weren't put here to do that. Like me, I wasn't put here to do that. Now, it's one thing if I was put here to actually work for the devil. I wasn't put here to work for the devil. So God always ultimately saved me from situations, you know, that should have went worse. if that makes any sense. Like a lot of situations that I was in, it could have went a lot worse. Like when I was a teenager, I got into a situation where me and some friends stole a vehicle, and like we had enough cops flag us down and was trying to catch us, and ultimately me and my friend got away from it. And I feel like it's the grace of God why I even got away from that, because we could have did serious time for that. That was armed theft. It was armed theft. Like we it was armed robbery. Like we robbed a car at gunpoint. And ultimately I got out of the situation. And this actually continued years down the line, where I got into situations that shouldn't have really ended so well. And ultimately I was like untouched, unbruised for the most part. Like I was like, for the most part, like you could say that like I was good. I was well off. You know, it could have took me to a place where I was killed. I was put in jail for a good amount of time. My soul could have been broken down more to the point where there was no coming back. You know, and that's why I always believed, like, if you're a person that takes life and you just get into this mode where you're taking people's lives, your soul is ultimately broken down to the point where there probably is no coming back. And not to say that there isn't, you know, but you know, for the most part, majority of people that are killing people, you can tell that their soul is tainted, like, you know, like. And I kind of knew that from get go. Like I already had I already had a heavy intuition from get go. My intuition was usually key on point. I just never really listened to it. I never listened to my gut feelings. There's a lot of the stuff that I knew that I went against, you know, and yeah, it kept me going in this circle of beating up myself spiritually, and to the point where I actually didn't really care for life anymore. You know, it's just, I was just getting high, you know, selling drugs, you know, taking advantage of people, taking advantage of women, taking advantage of relationships that I got into, the whole 9 yards. And I was getting into situations with people that weren't any better, you know, at the end of the day. But besides that, I take full accountability for what I was doing, because ultimately that's the reason why I was in the situation I was in. It wasn't because of nobody else, you know, it was because of me. It's because of decisions that I made, you know. I can't really point the finger at anybody but myself. You know, of course, these illusions, you know, will get the best of you. And you'll think that, yo, honestly, at the end of the day, it's somebody else, you know. But yeah, that's the illusion making you feel like, you know, because, you know, it's like you subscribe to these things that are really like the devil's playground, you know. So you got to be discerning and kind of know what you're getting yourself into. And I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into. So, you know, ultimately a lot of bad things would happen to me. And it wasn't to say that I didn't even have proper upbringing, because I did have good upbringing. My family members pretty smart and pretty wise, and, you know, try to make the best decisions that they can for their family, for their loved ones. And yeah, it's not like I came from a home where I didn't have parents, or I had parents that were, you know, ultimately down a road that was like misleading. So, you know, I had no, I can only take accountability for, you know, the path that I took, you know. But at the end of the day, God literally always had my back. Always had my back when things got too bad. When I needed somebody to lean on, who was there? not the devil. It was God. It was literally God. God was there. And the more I would like get saved out of these situations, and I would try to do what's right and lean on God, the more the devil really disliked me. Like, the devil does not like me. The devil did not want anything good for me. The devil ultimately wanted to see me dead, literally. And the only person that was stopping that was the Most High. Was the Most High literally stopping that, because at the end of the day, I had a mission. I have a mission. And it's like God was constantly trying to knock some sense into my head and show me that the decisions that I was making was ultimately going to lead me to my death, to my demise. And he would show me literally by saving me from these situations that it would make it seem like, how did I get saved from this? How is this happening? How am I getting off on this? You know, like, and my emotions were cut off for a long time. You know, I wasn't really giving into emotion like that. You know, I was high a lot of the time. Like, I was high a lot of the time, like drunk. I was drunk from like I'd say from age like 14 to actually just recently, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Like, yeah, I was high all the time. That was my getaway from, like, you know, the reality of things, you know. And maybe if I wasn't getting high all the time, I would have kind of realized these things a lot sooner. But yeah, I was the kind of person that was looking for a lot of quick gratification. You know, looking for quick stimulation, you know, in all kind of ways, in all aspects, you know, from drugs to women to just having fun and like video games and all types of stuff, man. Like, literally anything that would like get my adrenaline just pumping and going, like I was into, you know. Fortunately, I never went too far where violence was concerned and stuff like that, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm not really a violent person. I was turning into that kind of person because I held a lot of emotions deep down, and I wasn't really expressing myself truly how I felt about certain situations and things. So I had a lot of built up anger that was like deep in me, a lot of emotions that I pushed down. And, you know, they've been coming to the surface more recently. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that, like, within the last few years, like, a lot of these emotions have been coming to the surface, you know, because I've been releasing, like, you know, literally I've been releasing a lot of these emotions that have been trapped deep within me, you know, but from not really doing things the right way or emotionally, you know, and not expressing myself in the most healthy way possible. And I feel like a lot of that was playing on my mental state, you know, on my health. Well, ultimately I was doing it so I wouldn't be so stressed out, which it worked for a long time. Don't get me wrong. Like, it worked for a long time, getting high on weed and pushing my emotions down. And yeah, it was working for a long time. I wasn't really getting what I really wanted out of life, but there was illusion like I was like good, you know, I was okay, like everything was fine, you know, like sort of like I was just settling for what the devil gave me, you know, which wasn't really fine, you know. I was so high I just couldn't really see it, you know, and I thought it was all fun and games and it was all good till a week ago. Nah, seriously. But yeah, I just realized that you know, it kept on happening to a point where God was trying to wake me up and kind of show me, like, you really need to step step into your mission now and like really do what you have to do, because you're here to work for me. You're not here to work for the devil. And he kept on trying to show me, literally kept on trying to show me, kept on saving me from situations. And trust me, there was a lot of situations where I acknowledged that it was God that literally saved me out of these situations. Yet I would turn around and go right back to the same vices and the same stuff that was keeping me stuck, literally keeping me going around in circles. Going back to people that weren't for my best interests, people that literally wanted to see me beneath them, that didn't want to see anything good for me, and I was like really selfish and not really acknowledging, thinking that I ultimately had control over everything, and I could, turn this thing around somehow, and instead of just like giving it up to God and giving it up to the universe and showing the universe that I fully have faith. I fully have faith in the universe and what God has been doing for my life, saving me out of situations that I was putting myself in, literally. Saving me from situations where I could have been killed a long time, and that's to show you, like, anybody saying that they could kill me definitely can't kill me unless God allowed it to happen. So God would literally have to like give me to the devil, say, here, do whatever you want with this guy now. I don't, like, this guy is like lost. He's not waking up. He's not coming over to this side, and it probably was going to go there soon. I felt like, I definitely feel like my time was running very slim, and it could have went that way. It could have definitely started to go that way. And I feel like it did start to go that way. I feel like I was coming to a place where I was being fully given over to the devil. The devil is still around, still taunting me, still trying to get me to do his will, trying to get me to do what he wants me to do. Ultimately to lead me into death. Literally, the devil wanted me to do what he wanted me to do. Trying to promise these rewards and these things that honestly weren't gonna fulfill me anyway. Even if I got it, it wasn't gonna fulfill me, and it was just a lie to get me to a place where ultimately the devil could fucking hang me by a rope, literally. And I'm fully acknowledging that now. And I just could have went down a road a while ago where it ultimately would have helped a lot more people, rather than hurt a lot of people, because I hurt a lot of people going down this road. And I'm just thankful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, for the most part, because I was around a lot of people that were probably doing a lot worse, to people. But at the end of the day, I just give thanks, I give thanks that I wasn't really led to the point of no return, because I feel like there is points where it's hard to return from it, it's hard to come back from it. It's like your soul is like totally taken from you. And I was getting close, definitely getting close to that. But anyways, it just came to a point where I was really getting tired. And I had to make a change. I had to change up some of the things that I was doing, because it was insanity to keep doing the same things, expecting different results. So I had to really change up a lot of my actions and start doing things that were more healthy and would more maybe open up my mind to newer possibilities. And ultimately I still thought I had the control. And I'm realizing now that I never had control. I never had full control over my life. Even that's an illusion, you know. Thinking that I ultimately can get whatever I desired out of life without the grace of God was an illusion. It was fully an illusion. And the devil was just like totally wanting me to believe that I had the control. Even when I started doing the things that were more beneficial to my health, to my mental space, to my soul, the devil still wanted me to believe that I fully had control when I didn't have control. And now I'm just at a place where I kind of just want to give thanks to God. And I kind of want to just show anybody that might be going through the same kind of struggles that when you kind of let go of things that aren't really serving you the right way, leading you down a path of destruction, letting go of people that you feel like you can help, but ultimately is gonna lead you down the same path to destruction. Thinking that you fully have control, and instead of giving thanks to a higher source that might be doing a lot of the work behind the scenes that you don't notice, because it's like you won't notice these things. These things will go right over your head if you're not really fully awake. There's so much illusion, so much distractions out here that it's hard to really, if you're paying too much attention to those things, it's hard for you to even see the signs that the higher source is giving you, that the Most High is trying to give you. The Most High is trying to bring in something beautiful for your life, and you're stuck on the past girlfriend that broke your heart, or the past few people that you might have robbed and did something wrong to. You might have did them so wrong and so dirty that your mind is so caught up on, like feeling like you're guilty, and you haven't really forgiven yourself and forgiven what others have done to you. That you missed the signs. You missed the signs to actually give it up to the Most High and start really leveling up and get past that cycle where you can stop going around in circles, in the same circle. So this is just my testimony to God, to the Most High, and to let people know when your will is strong and you have faith in a higher source, that anything is possible. Miracles are possible. I'm coming from a place where, honestly, I shouldn't even be really that great right now. Like, I shouldn't be in the position that I am in. But it's all by the grace of God, really and truly. That's all I can say, And I'm not even really religious like that, to tell you the truth. I'm not really a religious person. I'm not. But I do believe I've always believed in a higher source. I've always believed that there's demons out here. I've always believed in entities and souls, and because I've just witnessed a lot of weird stuff go on, in this world. And I'd be crazy to not actually acknowledge that there's certain things out here, that are unexplainable. Some of us feel like we can explain everything in the world, and I definitely don't know everything. I don't know everything. And I don't even know if I trust somebody that feels like they know everything. So, with that being said, I'm just showing you that I'm back. I'm going to start making more videos, concerning my life, just being myself, really and truly. Like, I don't got nothing to hide at this point. I'm just trying to better myself every day, and things are getting better and better, slowly but surely. Hopefully they'll start speeding up, you know. So I'm a little impatient because, you know, I know how great of a person I am. And if I was making the right steps in my life and, you know, listening to the higher source, my life probably would have been 10 times better 10 years ago, you know. But either way, you know, we gonna get there. We gonna get there, and I'm praying that you get there as well. Peace and love.